Hi, listen a few minutes to the music, the famous clarinet concert by Mozart. Many musicians have played it, even Benny Goodman, the famous jazz musician, often referred as the king of swing. And here is now our report 16. Benny Goodman in concert. Whistling makes it possible. Having heard Mozart clarinet concert boosted by our colleague Erwin yesterday, this is a story that has to be with superstition. Few of us were superstitious. Nobody cared about each other's quirk, but we were immediately informed emphatically that the captain does not tolerate whistling abroad. Never! Only the whistle of the watch officer was permitted. The captain feared that any sound that could compete with the whistling of the wind in the mast could give the elements stupid ideas and could stop the wind or hit the sails with hurricane force. Since punishment like careering was no longer a threat, this meant to be thrown into the water on port side and being pulled underneath the ship with a rope to starboard side. During one watch, the delinquent now had to climb 3 times per hour from deck to the royal yard within a few minutes and keep outlook for the remaining 1 hour. In any weather, exceeding the time limit, full repetition was due. Fear of being opposed to such a procedure was tremendous. All had previously obeyed, but only half a day before Bahia Blanca, the captain rushed on deck and yelled at Erwin, "You have been whistling once after leaving Paranagua and now again. This has brought us the Pampero and will once again bring hardship. The 4 hours procedure shall begin immediately, so that the wind and the elements remain favorable." Erwin, a very quiet boy, seemed deeply affected and stammered that he was not caught whistling but was playing clarinet. Now stammered the captain that he had probably never heard of something as stupid as that, and asked, "Where is the instrument?" Then Erwin smiled and said that he did not need one. in order to present the clarinet concert by Mozart, sounding genuine and indeed as good as Benny Goodman has played it on records. Now the captain turned red and seemed ready to burst when the second deck officer intervened and confirmed that the sound emitted by Erwin was the perfect reproduction of the clarinet solo. For this reason, the mates on duty did not object and let Erwin play. That stunned our captain completely. He asked if everyone else can confirm this nonsense. No one said yes, no one said no, but some admitted that this could not be ruled out. This was a case enough for in doubt for the accused. The captain brow wrinkled and he looked straight at Erwin and said, "If you promise never again to present Benny Goodman on this ship, I offer you at the next opportunity to put your skill to work, namely with a concert in front of the entire crew at cargo hold 3. But if it turns out that I was fooled here, the penalty procedure will be due twice." Erwin turned pale, squeezed out a yes, and trotted away with us others and with great relief. 2 days after our sailing shore near St. Helena, and when we had reached the doldrums, it was announced that Erwin's concert would take place in 2 hours' time. We all gathered in time and just before sunset at hatch 3. But first we heard an interesting introduction by Erwin's savior, the second mate. Erwin actually brought forth beautiful melodic melodies in clarinet manner. To what extent this was a classic piece of the Mozart clarinet concert was a clarinet close to Benny Goodman's style, I and probably all others had no idea. But all heard that he portrayed a wind instrument and it was not whistling. Erwin received a thunderous applause. He thanked politely and then said loud and clearly, "In Hamburg, I'm gone." Too bad. Many would have liked to hear more of Erwin's music. But we have to close now this story and are proceeding as soon